What's up everybody? My name is Ron. Let's swap out some taillight bulbs. Incandescent 1157 to LEDs. The light bulbs that came in the Street Bob are the classic 1157 taillight bulbs that have been around forever. They've got a great track record. They do a great job. But a while back, one of my taillight bulbs burned out. No problem. I swapped it out, put a new one in, and about a week later, the other bulb burned out. And I thought, well, you know, this is a great opportunity for me to look at LED bulbs and find something that's gonna last a bit longer than the 1157 incandescent bulb. I ordered a set of LED bulbs, went to install them, ran into a bit of a problem, and I'll show you what I did to address that. So there's a bit of a backstory here. Before I tried this set of bulbs that you see in the video, I ordered a different set of bulbs. And the first set that I ordered had a much larger heat sink at the base of the bulb. There was no chance whatsoever of that fitting into the reflector housing. So I sent back the first set, did some more research, and came up with what looked like an LED bulb whose base was closer to the size of the stock incandescent bulb. Even that bulb would not quite fit. It felt as though it would go in and would be able to seat, but it just couldn't quite get there. So I had to modify that reflector housing just enough to allow the larger base of the LED bulb to sit down into the housing. Let's try the drill. As you can see, it took me a couple of tries to get it opened up enough for the base of the LED bulb to clear in the housing. If you do this yourself, just take your time, take a little bit of material out at each try, and just Test it as you go. You don't want to take out too much material because you can't put it back. If you do the same modification that I did, make sure you clean out that socket very thoroughly once you're done. It took me a few tries to get all the shavings out of there, but you want to make sure those are all out so that you don't interfere with the contact surfaces inside of that socket. If you swap out the stock bulbs for LED bulbs, there's a chance you'll end up with an ECM error code. And you may see that when you use your turn signals, the indicator lights on your display or on your dash do the fast flash. In my case, when I did the swap, the indicator lights would do the fast flash, even though the bulbs themselves were flashing at a normal rate and everything looked normal in the front and in the back. But the ECM still had an error message. Now that code did not cause the check engine light to come on, but it did cause that fast flash only on the little display panel itself, but not with the actual turn signals. I had two different error codes because in the process of doing this, I was swapping bulbs back and forth so I could do the comparisons, and it caused a couple of different error conditions. The two codes that I saw were B2151c, so Bravo 2151 Charlie, and then Bravo 2151 Hotel. It's really easy to clear these error codes, but depending on what you end up with, you may have to do one extra step. So in my case, the first step I had to take was to just put the flashers on. So turn the ignition switch on, turn the flashers on, let them flash for either 30 or 60 seconds. It seems like different models have a different amount of time that you need to let that happen. And then you turn that off, and that basically resynchronizes some part of the ECM and gets the flashing cycles back in sync. To clear out the error code in the ECM, you start by pressing and holding the trip button on the left-hand control. Flip the switch on the right-hand control. You'll see the display initialize, and then you'll see it come up with diag. You then release the trip button, press the trip button again to cycle through each one of the control modules until you see the one that has a Y next to it. That indicates where the error code is. Then you press and hold the left-hand trip button again. That will get you into the error codes for that particular module. And then when you see the error code come up, you press and hold the trip button again until you see the word clear. And when you see the word clear, you know that code has been cleared out from the system. And then you can press the left-hand trip button to cycle through the rest of the codes to see if there are any more that need to be cleared. And if you go through that process and find that you still have a code there, you can just repeat those steps. You might have noticed that I don't have the stock license plate bracket on the Street Bob. A while back, I replaced that with the DK Customs axle mount curved license plate bracket. And I also had to swap out the mounting brackets for the left rear tail light. I've got a future video coming out where I'll go into more detail about that project. So be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted whenever I post a future video. So let's look at the difference in the stock bulbs and the LED bulbs. I'm not going to render my opinion. I'm going to leave it up to you. Take a look at these video clips where I'll show you the differences in the bulbs in bright sunlight, partial sunlight, and complete darkness. Now that you've seen the bulbs and these different lighting conditions, tell me what you think. I'm going to post a link to a survey right up here. So cast your vote, LED or incandescent bulbs. Drop in a comment as well. What have been your experiences with LED bulbs? Have you swapped it out for incandescent bulbs like I've done here? And what problems did you run into? Did you have the same problem I had? Did you do a different solution? Let me know how it went. I would love to hear your comments on the whole project, and I'm sure the rest of the community would appreciate that as well. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and be sure to hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted whenever I post a new video. And if you've enjoyed this video or found it beneficial, please hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the ride. I'll see you next time.